Welcome back, everybody. For this lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to pick up where we left off in the previous lesson. Now, I have lesson 11 already downloaded and set up for us to use, but if you're picking this up from here, just go to your downloads and inside of the lesson 11 folder, find a website in DreamWeaver using the website root under the RC photography section. If you don't know how to do that, then go all the way back to lesson 9 and start from there. That'll help. Now, I have these files set up. Let me just get this out of the way here. I have the files set up inside of here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up sliced.html because that's what we were working on. And I'll go ahead and I'll open inside of lesson 11. I'm going to go over here, go to my PSD files, and I'll grab that texture finished, which is what we were working on. And we copied this one section. I'll start working on all of these other areas here. Now, I don't need any of this stuff, right? Because that's already part of the background. Actually, you know what? Let's take this. Let's go ahead and grab all of this section here and here. Now, notice if I go under the info panel, 283 by 79, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and form this entire area that's here. But in order for me to be able to do that, what I want to do is I want to do this. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to make a guide here, and I'll make a guide here. Because I want to copy this, but I do want to copy all of these sections that are here and paste them in. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to copy this guy, and notice that's 159 by 79. So 159, 79. Let's go back over to DreamWeaver, and in DreamWeaver, I'm going to highlight this yellow cell here, which is going to tell me that it's the header. I'm going to hit the right arrow, and they're going to move me immediately after that. So I'm going to insert layout objects div tag. I want to create an ID called menu bar. And the menu bar is going to get a new CSS rule. That CSS rule is going to be an ID of menu bar, and it's going to be inside of the photostyles.css. And I'm going to click OK. Now, the box that I'm going to be using for this is going to be 955 because we know that that's the width of this by 79. That's the height of the guide. So we'll come over to the box section, and in the box section we'll do 955 by 79. And we're going to float that to the left. And I'll click OK. I'm going to click OK here. There's the box. There's our sample content that's in there. I don't need the sample content, so I'm just going to delete that, but stay inside of the menu bar. If you don't, let's say for example, you do this and you go back to the container, don't worry, just click right on the yellow. It'll get you into the menu bar, and then just click inside of it and you'll get into the menu bar itself. Now that you're in there, we'll go ahead and we'll start working on getting all of the stuff into this. Go back into Photoshop, and inside Photoshop, there's the graphic that I want. I'm going to do a copy merged. So that's Command-Shift-C or Control-Shift-C. I'm going to minimize, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to do an edit, paste. There's our graphic. I'm going to leave my settings the way that they are. That's fine. And inside of here, I'm going to put the graphic. I'm going to call it M1 for menu, graphic 1, and I'll click on save. I'll call this M1 as well, and there's the graphic. Lines up perfectly with the background. I like it. Now, immediately after that, I'm going to come over here to Photoshop, and I'm going to grab the next graphic. That's going to be M2, 124 by 79. I'll come into DreamWeaver, and what I'll do, actually, let's do this. Let's come back over here and copy merged, and in DreamWeaver, we'll do a paste. We'll save that. We're going to call that M2 inside of the Photoshop exports. Click save. We'll call that M2. There's our graphic. Let's come back into Photoshop, grab this, copy merged, DreamWeaver, paste. That's our about button. So we're going to save that over here. This one I'm going to call ATN about because I want to make sure that I know where that button is. That's fine. I'm going to call this about button. I'm going to click OK. There's the about button. Let's go ahead and go back into Photoshop, biography section, do a copy merged into DreamWeaver, paste. Again, we'll save that in here, and we'll call this BTN Bio. We'll save that, and we'll call it Biography Button. Click OK. And I'm going to do this for the next one. Now, originally what I was going to do is just going to do this for a couple of them and not show you the whole process. But then I said, you know what? I want to show you something at the end, so might as well have you guys stick around and see the whole thing. And we'll call this Galleries Button. And see the whole thing and see what I'm going to do at the very, very end. Now, by DreamWeaver, go back to Photoshop. Let's grab Contact. I'm going to copy merged. Come over here, paste. There it is. Go to Exports, BTN Contact. Click Save. Contact button. Click OK. And then I'm going to do one more over here. I'm going to grab this guy. Copy merged. Come back over here. We'll paste. And click OK. And then I'm going to call this, it was M1, M2. I'm going to call this one M3. Now, save that. And I'll call this M3. Now, I want to keep those graphics just to be on the safe side. I don't want to do the end because I'm thinking, you know what? This graphic already, it's here. It's already here. I don't want to do the end. Conversely, I don't want to do this guy over here either. There's no need to. Now, because of that, you're going to have a problem. And I'm going to pull out my trusty calculator to be able to help me with this. Because, take a look at this graphic here. It's 159, right? So 159, we're going to add that to the space that we have over here. The space that we have over here is 128. So, if I bring up a calculator, 159 plus 128 is about 287. Now, if you were to subtract 287 from 955, what you would get is about 668 pixels. That makes sense in a second. Watch this. Go to DreamWeaver. And I'm going to grab this graphic here, and I'm going to delete it. Watch what happens. It moves the whole thing. It messes everything up. That's not good. So how do we fix that? Well, these graphics are stacked on top of one another, and when you don't put that graphic on the left, it pushes the alignment out. What if we just turn around and add padding to the left of 159, padding to the right of 128, then our problem is solved. Not bad. Watch this. CSS, we go to the menu bar. In the menu bar, go to the box. Here's our padding. Actually, you know what? Let's do a margin. All right, so we go to left. And on the left, I know I had 159 pixels. And on the right, I had 128 pixels. And I click Apply. Not bad. Watch this. Click OK. Close this. But look where the box is. All the way over here. Not good. Not good at all. So, that's not going to work for me. I'm going to have to go over here to my CSS styles. And I'm going to get rid of this header section here, and actually, you know what? Let's move the head back up there where it belongs because I keep forgetting. I'll close this out. Here's our header, and there's our menu bar. Menu bar that's giving us a problem. I'm going to go ahead and actually, you know what? Let me do this. Let me pull this out here. I know you're not going to see some of it. Don't worry about that. I just want to be able to see this. Go to the menu bar, and in the menu bar, we're going to go to the box. 159, 128, that kind of works, but it doesn't because it pushes this off the edge. So you know what? Get rid of this. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Leave that same for all. Let's come over here. So left, 159. Right, 128. This is where that math comes into play because what happens here is 955 is the whole box. If you start adding padding to this, it's going to push everything across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these two numbers and subtract it from 955. That's where 159 plus 128 was 287. Subtract from 955 is 668. I click OK. And that's going to push the information over. Now I'm going to come over here to this one section. I'm going to click on Files. I'm going to drag M3. I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to type in M3. I'm going to click OK. Guess what? It pushes everything over. Something's not right. Something's not good. So let's go back and change the menu bar. watch this. Chances are the menu bar is too small. So I'll come over here to the box and I'll go 669. Apply. Now I have the graphic exactly where I want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to single click here to the right of this, actually on the menu bar, and then I'm just going to hit the right arrow to move me to the right of the menu bar div. Now I'm going to insert layout objects, a div tag, and the div tag that I'm going to make here is going to have an ID of main. I'm going to make a new CSS rule, which is going to be inside the photostyles.css. I'm going to click OK there, and I'm going to make a box. The box is going to be 955, and for now I'm just going to leave it at 900 with a float of left. I'll click OK. I'll click OK here. There's my main content box. Not bad. So now we're all set with that one box, but I want to be able to put some content in this area. So I'm going to have to measure this out a little bit. I can go ahead inside of DreamWeaver and click on View, and inside of there we have rulers. You can click Show to be able to see the rulers and drag out guides as you need them. Take a look. This is really cool stuff. Notice that's 221 pixels in. I can zoom in here and just click and make sure that is exactly where I need to be. I'm going to grab my CSS styles and move it over here. Matter of fact, I could even be closer than that. I can come over here, be right there. Actually, you know what? That is right there. So what is that, 221 pixels? Not bad. I'm going to click here and I'm going to zoom back out to 100 so I can see everything. That's 221 pixels of padding that I need on that side. Now, from here, if I drag on this side, that's around 755. So that's 200 on this side. If it's 955, that's 200 here plus 221 here. So that's about 421. Now, if we do some fast math there, 955 minus 421 gives me a main box of about 534. So I'm going to go inside my CSS styles and go to that main box, change the box. We'll make it 534 with a left of 221 and a right of 200. I'm going to click OK. Our container box should be right here. Now that I have that main box in here, I'm going to go and highlight here, delete that, and we'll put in a content box inside of here that's going to be the same size, right? It's going to be 534. So insert layout objects, div tag, and I'll call this content box, new CSS. We'll click OK here. We'll make a box that's going to be about 534, and height's going to be about 900, and we'll float to the left. We'll click OK. We'll click OK here. There's our box. And I'm going to leave that content in there actually, and just go into the CSS styles, double click on the content box, and give it a background color of black. Click OK. We're lined up. Pretty good. Now, once all of that stuff is done, we can go and save this. I'm going to go ahead and save the photostyles.css and come back over to design view. That's pretty much it. That's how you can set boxes using math inside of DreamWeaver. And what we've done is we've copied and we've pasted, and in a relatively short amount of time, we're able to lay everything out, and now we're ready to be able to add pages to then turn stuff into templates for us to be able to use later.